Hello, Milan.
Hello?
Yes. So today I would like to talk about some myths about Nikola Tesla. They're
Okay.
true or false. So I'm just going to read them out to you.
Okay.
So the first one is during Tesla's walk in the Budapest Park, he found a solution for rotary magnetic field.
Yeah. It is what Tesla said. And just a short introduction, what we are talking about in this case. First of all, before that, I said many times that Nikola Tesla, I respect Nikola Tesla. Like young boy, I read about Tesla, about his life, what young boy can understand. How I grew up and started to research, then I'm also experimenting, so I can talk from technical point of view and from his history. So Tesla in Graz, he studied in Graz, today Austria. Before it was Habsburg monarchy, and when professor make demonstration of generator, he noticed the arcs on commutator and brushes. And he asked professor, is it better to something like that, to avoid commutator? And professor told him that with sarcasm, that maybe he will achieve something great things in his life, but this is not possible. It is perpetuum mobile on English. And maybe it was triggering moment for Tesla, and he started to try to develop electric motor, electric generator without brushes, without commutator. And it wasn't easy. And when he stopped, he didn't finish study, he left study, and he went to work in Budapest for Puskás company. They work on telecommunication to install telephones. And during day he worked for Puskás company, and in free time he make hard work to develop his idea. Tesla was very sensitive and maniac in some sense about work, and he got mental crash, overload himself. He has a very good friend, Szigeti, from Budapest, and doctor, there was a plan to put them in mental institution on treatments to recovery. It was in that time very dangerous, almost like today. And Szigeti played very important role, and he convinced doctor that Tesla is not crazy. That if doctor make decision to put Tesla in a mental institution, he asked one more bed for himself, because he said, if Tesla is crazy, I'm crazy too. And somehow he convinced doctor to not send Tesla in mental institution. So they alone used to walk beside the Danube River, actually, on English, and in the parks to relax himself. One day, during sunset, they walked through the famous park in Budapest, and when Tesla saw the sun goes beyond horizon, he took a picture from him because he read Faust from Johann Goethe, Wolfgang Goethe, and there is a small chapter saying that sun goes forward somewhere to wake up new life. Over here, the day is gone, but over there, the new day is coming. And he got flesh. Then he understood what he is missing to make this motor generator system without brushes and commutator. And today we call that rotary magnetic field. And he saw everything. He drove with stick on the sand, how to turn motor in one direction, how to another, blah, blah, blah. So he get some kind of revelation. So that myth or story is quite true. Maybe some details is added, but generally it's true.
Okay. So the next one is Tesla had a mechanical oscillator which could cause a local earthquake.
Yeah, and there is some newspaper. Just to say again, I'm talking from my memory, but that memory was 50 years, almost 50 years before, until today. So maybe I will something not remember exactly details, but generally story I know. So in some newspaper, it's, two policemen was invited from local people that there is an earthquake because the windows and even buildings are shaking. And one policeman came to idea that it must be Tesla. Reason for that, because he had a laboratory very close. They went to his laboratory and found Tesla trying to, with huge hammer, to destroy this mechanical oscillator. Okay, it is story for newspaper. How much it can be true? Yeah, very. And it will be the principle almost in every what we will speak today. So it is when we do that like this. These tables has some elasticness.
Yes, like
Yes, okay. This table will be vibrate on its own frequency, no matter. So if you hit the wall will vibrate for a while on his own frequency. Anything. So so when you hit something, it goes away from it and then return, and when because it's make if you hit and stop, it's what we call damped oscillation. So when I hit very sharp, very for just pulse, it's return back. So when it's go back, then you add another pulse, and then you increase the amplitude, and you do every time like this, then you can get very strong oscillation of system, of object. Even Mythbusters tried that, and with bridge. And they stopped experiment because they was scared. Oh, there is a video you can find on internet when wind in America was twisting huge bridge across the river. It is exactly that reason. When it's return, and go back, then you need to put pulse. Okay, something elasticity. Yeah, okay. So, okay, this is what I made long time ago by playing without any idea. So we have magnets and the weight are bigger and bigger. So it is all in repelling position. So if I have a look, so if I want to find resonance like this, what I'm saying, if I do something like this, it's mess. But when I find resonance, see how upper, how much is go. If I made a video also with where is electromagnet down. So see how it go higher and higher. So it is the principle to destroy. The system cannot hold this and collapses. So he used to say that he made small device that he can put in the pocket, and the force that device is making cannot kill the mouse. It's completely small force. But if you live long enough, the building will be destroyed. So this is known. He found application, and he made a mechanical oscillator for that with a piston and steam engine. And there was membrane to make this elastic, easy to find resonance. So and he made electric generator with that, but nobody using that. So basically, that this myth is true.
Next one is Tesla claimed that he could split planet Earth in two pieces like an apple.
Yeah. It is the same principle. He said, if we follow this, by the way, this principle is for Tesla magnifier coil and Tesla coil itself. That's why he used that principle almost everywhere where he can. So it is. I don't think so that he was. And I'm sure that he didn't put that in his mind. He just tried to explain how it could be powerful. So he said, if we dig some hole and have dynamite, so we will fire first dynamite, put in the hole, it will explode. He will calculate how long time it's needed the wave return back. When the wave return back, he will fire another dynamite. Then we'll make higher amplitude, but another and another. On the end, it can cause Earth to split in two. If we are talking about principle, yes, but I don't think so that it's simply like that. So there's when you get more and more oscillation, there will be leakage, whatever. So you don't have to worry. If someone wants to try that, he will not split the Earth, but he just tried to explain power of getting a resonance.
Okay. Next one is Tesla produced balls of lightning in colors and stored them in a wooden box.
Yeah, there is an article, actually, I said, yeah, that there is an article in newspaper by one journalist. I don't know, never bother to remember who is this. And that article had two versions, shorter and longer. Uh, Shorter version, it's if you read carefully and you don't know nothing about technique, you will see something is wrong with this story. It goes like this. Mark Twain, who was friend of Nikola Tesla, who was in restaurant with his company. Tesla was in lab, and Mark Twain write notes to Tesla and send by messenger to Tesla. I mean, messenger in that time, not today messenger. A messenger came to Tesla, gave to him notes. Tesla wrote answer that he's busy, and he said, if you want, rather come with your company here. A messenger returned, and Mark Twain and his company, they accepted the invitation. They went to Tesla lab, and until they are preparing for Tesla demonstration, someone came knocked on the door and was journalist who was write this article. So if it came on almost on the end, so but when you look the story, it goes that someone was all the time on every places watching what is happening. So it already tells you it is not true. Okay, what was demonstration? Insane. Tesla put one metal plate on the table, put on the high frequency, took rabbit from the cage, put on the metal plate, and it kills rabbit. Already is not true. Not that Tesla is human. I'm not talking about that. But it's also important. If you put, it will not kill the rabbit or any animals. Then when kill rabbit, Tesla jumped to the table, sit on the plate, and said, "See, it kill rabbits, but cannot kill me." It was then there was some so-called device that Mark Twain was interested, and he said, "What this does?" And I said, "Okay, you can sit on this device, and it will make some oscillation to your body." And Mark Twain did that and said, "Oh, it's wonderful, but that's a don't be long, too long. Stop." No, 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 I will not stop, blah, blah, blah. And after a few minutes, Mark Twain said, "Where is the toilet?" That's what I told you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so already you can see that someone tried to fascinate audience. When Mark Twain returned from toilet, Tesla took one wooden box, opened, and took out several lightning bolts in the color, blue one, red one, and he used to put in the ear and took like magician. So, and it is shorter version. Longer version that after that Tesla showed to all of them how to use sunlight to and lens to boil water, and water will power steam engine. It's nonsense. I mean, it's work, but it was known 100 years or 200 years before Tesla. So it tell us, it's my opinion, that it is possibility of journalist what kind of sensation he can give to his followers, if I can say that. So what is the final truth about proof about that? It was that um, demonstration was several years before Tesla went to Colorado Springs. In Colorado Springs, it was 1899, and over there he first time noticed fireballs, and he said he wrote that because that he was thinking that they are not real when before he read in newspaper that someone saw that lightning bolts, not fireballs. Sorry, and he was thinking that it was illusion. And when over there he noticed them, it was small ones, and he got them by accident. And what was common then always when long spark hit the electric, in that case was wood, and when they reflex, sometimes they last much longer. So it is proved that this article was fake.
Okay. Tesla communicated with aliens.
It was titled in every relevant newspapers in that time. At that time, Williams, okay, Lord Kelvin, later he became William Thomson, like later when he started to be Lord Kelvin. In his visit New York, he was very popular. There were so many journalists asking questions, and some of questions. He was very good friend with Tesla, by the way, and he was asked that what he thinks about papers are saying Tesla communicate with aliens. Lord Kelvin said, if Tesla said that, then I believe. What is the real truth? It's Tesla never said that on that way. He noticed during night when he was in Colorado Springs laboratory, because he worked mostly overnight because of power. He got free from local power station. That he didn't work only on transmitter. He worked also many days on the receivers, and he got signals in proper cycles: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's repeated. After that, he wrote a letter to Red Cross. In that time, Red Cross was something like UN today, United Nations. He wrote a letter to them and said that he came to the conclusion that it is from outer space because there was not known reason on the Earth. And he was thinking that maybe he got a pulse signal from some aliens, if you want to say. And he said, if it is 1, 2, 3 bits signal, maybe response will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and they will understand that someone intelligent is receiving this if it is message. And that's it about that. But in today, many astrophysicists said it could be some effect around the ionosphere. Someone says of quasar, distant quasar. So many, so many. So they are saying they believe that he got signal in proper. I mean, like looks like interview, which is repeating, looks precise, but they think that it is natural cause, which perhaps is like this. So it's, I will not say it's true that he spoke with aliens, but it's true that he received from outer space, but for nature reason, not by someone trying to communicate with him. But maybe yes, I don't know. Nobody can say yes or no.
Okay, the next one. During the experiment with Tesla coil, Tesla burned the local power plant.
Yeah. This story is a little tricky. So many so-called evidence, but there is no final smoking gun for that I tried to find long time ago. So during summer, when he went with his assistant, by the way, he called Sigeti, which I mentioned before, to several. Tesla had several assistants in Colorado Springs, but he asked Sigeti to come to be his major assistant because he needed the man of trust. Because at that time he was still in war with Edison, and that's why he called Sigeti. And when they returned from Colorado Springs, this small city, to laboratory, there was storm, and the storm went away, and suddenly nothing. There was, but after some period of time, the signal started to increase, like what storm make, and he was convinced that it is evidence about the Earth can produce standing wave, that we can, by using principle which I explained, actually what he explained, when you pump like this, hit the Earth, and when you got resonance with in proper time, then he can make Earth oscillate on to have a standing wave, and it is base for his wireless transmission. It is very well documented in the Colorado Springs notes, which he had wrote. And what's the problem? After that, he had power transformer regularly for drive his Tesla coil over there. He got this transformer from Westinghouse, like give support, and it was 20 kilowatts. Let's say only. At that time it wasn't only. And but when you have arcs, like, then it draw so many current from the source. And he made, there is a rumor that he went out with some rubber parts, whatever, because it was high electricity around, and he gave signal Sigeti to fire Tesla coil to make switch on, and there were discharge. Then Tesla measured the time and gave signal again to switch on and immediately off. And they saying that the arcs from the top sphere on the laboratory was longer and longer. And in some moment, he gave signal CDT to switch on and off, but no arcs from sphere. And he said, "What's going on?" And Sigeti said, "We have no power." Tesla called local power plant and said, "What's going on? I need power." They told him that he burned generators and no power. It is the story. If I read Colorado Spring notes several times, not generally, because I was interested in everything what he wrote there. There is, for that day when it's supposed to be, Tesla works outside, so which means he didn't use electricity. Actually, next day. So it could be some kind of evidence he destroyed local power plant, and next day he didn't have electricity. But as I said, he didn't work only with oscillator. He working around on detectors, which with batteries or even without batteries. So he didn't use power. There is what is the problem also. He never wrote single word about that experiment. So it happened during it happened during Colorado springtime when he was there about 7 months. He every day he wrote what he did and make calculation. No single word about that accident, about that experiment, about problem with power. About 2001, ex-director of Tesla Museum, Belgrade, Maria Šešić, and her husband Velimir Abramović, and Goran Marjanović, my friend, they visited me about 2001, I think. And I opened the subject during talk, and Maria told me that in museum there is an invoice from local company, power company, to Nikola Tesla to pay what his experiment made damage. So theoretically, it's possible. It's possible because it's when it's produced long arc, even it's 20 kilowatts, but transformer for supply. But power could be much higher because for shorter time. Exactly, if you have short pulse, so because the power energy divide with time, so you can for a short time you can draw extremely huge energy that could cause that problem. What only I found that something 2017 Tesla mentioned something about that, but what could you can trust, you can be sure, how to say, up to First World War, Tesla was very precise with covered with notes, with measurements, with calculations. But after he used just to talk, but no evidence. So, is what to say? Is it possible? It's possible. It was possible. It's still possible. But there is no smoking gun that it happened.
Okay. The next one is by accident Tesla caused the Tunguska explosion.
I would rather say next question, but okay. It tells you everything. Tunguska explosion happened 1908. And almost everybody knows. Tunguska explosion is one of evidence how myths are creating from people who are not qualified, who admire Tesla, but Tesla, it must be Tesla. What else? Aliens, Tesla, it cannot be natural cause. Someone must have done of that. Just sometimes I feel regret that Tesla now is he did so many good things for us, and he will going to be remembered for things that he never did. So in some case, it's shame. I will tell you a short story which explains everything. One day, my best man, Zoran Kričković, visited me in lab. At that time, I worked with single wire inspired by Tesla and tried to continue forward. At that time, LED wasn't popular. They were just for signalization, not like today. So I needed, it was very harder than now to work with single wire and see the power. So my load was 75 watts incandescent bulb on 230 volts. And he said, "Best man, what you are doing?" I said, "I'm trying to get better light with this experiment." And he said, "But okay, it is the bulb. What you are doing?" I said, "I'm working with a single wire, not two wires." And his face was like this. I said, "Why? What do you think from where it comes to me?" And he looked at me, "From cartoons." I said, "No, it is from Tesla." "Oh, then it's something else. Then it's something to take attention." So what to tell? There are two articles. One is that when expedition to North Pole was planned first time, Tesla spoke with them, and or maybe they exchange, I do not remember, letters, that he will try to contact them with some signal. They ask him what kind of signal, and he respond, "When you will see, you will realize that it's signal from me." And he made experiments, and the next morning he took a newspaper and he found that explosion in Tunguska happened in Siberia. And then Tesla said something like, what a mistake I make. Another version is that in local small newspaper, Gazeta, they published that Tesla was in local library and he was asking for maps for Siberia. I will say nothing. It is, I don't want to insult somebody, nobody, not somebody. No way. My answer is no way.
Okay. Next one is Tesla used unknown energy for driving a car.
Similar. This story, when I was younger, I believed in that story because I didn't know, I was very young and I didn't know physics. The story goes like this. He went with his so-called nephew, Peter Savo. Tesla had 3 sisters. It is Peter Savo is son, one of them, of sisters. He emigrated in America. He went with Tesla on some trip. They took car, took out engine, put inside electric motor, and overnight Tesla in local hotel room. Actually, first of all, he went to local electric shop. He bought 12 vacuum tubes and 12 resistors and some wires, and overnight he put that in wooden box. That dimensions, everything is precise. So then he, in the morning, he put that in the car, connected the electric motor, then put 2 rods like antenna, and he said, now we have a power. And there was how much fast he go, whatever. If you want to believe in that story, there is an easiest way to not believe me or someone like me to say it didn't happen. Just find, does Peter Savo existed? Today is easy. Go on the internet. There are 3 sisters. They had children. Blah blah blah. Find Peter Savo. If you find Peter Savo, you have great chance. But you will not find Peter Savo. That one.
Okay.
Which means my answer is no. It's not true.
Okay. So there's mention of the Philadelphia experiment.
Yeah. I'm not sure when Philadelphia experiment happened, during World War II or before, little before. Tesla died for 1943. After 1930, Tesla, how much Tesla was lucid was start to be questionable. And it getting worse. Philadelphia experiment was made by Navy, American U.S. pardon, not American, U.S. Navy. They try to make what we call today stealth ship warship. Stealth, which means they install some transmitter, not some very powerful transmitter. It was in harbor, and when they put transmitter on, the ship wasn't visible for local people who was watching. The ship disappeared. The boat disappeared. Later, I don't know how long, appeared again, and some of people was missing. Some of people, which means soldiers, sailor, was integrated with wall of boat, of door, whatever. And there is rumor that Einstein was involved in that experiment. And much later, this experiment, the Philadelphia experiment, is known. And still, there is no real evidence that it's even happened. But how the time is going, then story is changing. And then there was the latest version which I heard that Tesla was involved because of his experience, but because he was scared about humans using for these experiments. He tried to make sabotage of experiments, and then government killed Tesla. Because of that, if you know more about Tesla, he was not capable to take participation of any huge project. So my vote is it's not true. I'm not saying that all experiment, it's not. Tesla wasn't involved in that.
All right. So now we have some quotes that Tesla said.
Okay.
So the first one is, if you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe, which is one of the most well-known Tesla quotes.
Mm-hmm. When I was for that, I heard maybe in last 15 years before. I never heard for that. Or that quote that Tesla ever said, and never. What is true, Tesla was fascinated with the number 3. Obsessed, not fascinated, obsessed with number 3. He used to, let's say, when he approached to building, he used to go 3 times around before he entering the building. When he ordered lunch, and he calculated how much soup is in the plate, and if this volume is not cannot divide with 3, he will not eat, something like this. So he was fascinated, but not about this quote. For me, it looks like what is almost fashion today, because today everybody can publish something through media, Facebook, whatever. And maybe many of you notice, someone will come to some quotes and he will use picture of someone, well, in popular guy, let's say that Nietzsche or Mark Twain, whatever, or people from today, and will put the quotes what they invented and say he said that. Many people believe in these things. I think that it's created like this. That it's someone, it's from nowadays, someone made and said, like Tesla switch, which I have a video. It has nothing to do with Tesla. It's something similar. So I don't believe that Tesla said that.
Okay. Next one. If you want to find 1 second. Yeah, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
The same like previous one. Long time, so 20 years ago, I never heard of that. But I will explain what is wrong, what looks wrong to me. Can you repeat in the term of energy,
Frequency, and
vibration? So think, if you say vibration, why are you saying frequency? There is no vibration without frequency and vice versa. So for me, it looked that someone who is not too much familiar with physics made this. Tesla was very precise what he's saying. He was very pedantic, something over pedant, sometimes over pedantic. It doesn't sound to me like Tesla and looks makes sense, but you double one something said almost double, not necessarily say like this. So I think it's also nowadays invention from someone unknown.
Okay, and we have this last one, which has Tesla claimed of having invented a death ray capable of destroying 10,000 enemy airplanes at a distance of 250 miles, also known as 400 kilometers, on July 23rd, 1934.
It is period that Tesla started to talk but not show evidence. But when you, I read so many interviews, even in that period as well. So it's true that he spoke about that. It's true. And just also we can connect some interviews before that one and see what is going on. So he said that he working on the Tesla coil to get 50 million volts. To get 50 million volts, it's not easy. How you increase pressure in the system, in this case the voltage, the leakage out of your system goes out. So I worked, okay, I'm not relevant, but I worked to 500,000 because I knew even it was too much for me. But then I learned how it's very hard and very expensive to avoid leakage and get voltage between terminals. And this also said that it's very demanding. It was the first problem what he needed to solve, how to create 50 million volts. Second problem was how to feed that, because you need to increase more energy. It is go by square out with output. And he said that he had invention about 3 metals generator made by big mass of aluminium, copper, and iron. And one is rotating part, another is not, and almost 2-3 sentences he said about that. And he had planned to France because they obviously they will give, I don't know, maybe 1 million or not, maybe have huge money for the best invention, but it's he promised that, but he never seems that he didn't finish that. Before that, in one interview, he said that kinetic energy, what everybody knows, I mean, it's very, not everybody, that is classic. Kinetic energy is half mass times velocity squared. If you reduce, it is his word, it's simply logic. If you reduce mass for the same speed, you will get more energy. If you reduce mass to zero, then you will get infinite energy. This, how to say, brainstorming. If you so it, but it reveals what was in his mind then, because for his that ray machine, he said that he can produce beam in diameter almost of hydrogen atom, which is completely small, not visible. But if it's something on that diameter, let's say that it's possible. Actually, it's possible with accelerators, but that he made. So so if it is in diameter of hydrogen atom, it means that mass is very, very low. But so it's small particles, but with electric field of 50 million volts, it will accelerate so fast. In some sense, he was maybe thinking idea like particle accelerators, but not on the same, on his way. But we can, what is strange, what you said, he said, how many kilometers? 200, okay, 250 miles. It can destroy 10,000 planes. I don't know who had 10,000 planes then, but no matter. How he checked that he can destroy on 250 miles. Alone he can't. He needs someone, he needs communication, so many things. I think that it was his last stage of losing connection with reality, because he worked too much for many years, and he said that he spoke with J.P. Morgan, who was died. He sent a letter by messenger courier to Mark Twain. Courier didn't accept to send to deliver this letter because Mark Twain was 20 years dead. So we cannot trust to that Tesla from that time.
Well, that would be it for today then.
Okay,
All right, next time.
next time.